We've got the all-new Ford Ranger back for a test drive.
We chose the Ranger as one of our top 10s of last year. Oh, I gotta grab handle. Oh, easy, Andrea. Those rear tires are letting loose.
Oh, such a great power.
It's nice. There's only one other mid-size pickup truck that has a V6. And that's the Frontier from Nissan. And it is in this. Andrea, what is under the hood of this thing?
A 2.7-liter twin turbocharged V6. It has a 10-speed automatic transmission, 315 horsepower, and 400 pound-feet of torque.
Now, if you just get a base Ranger, it's a 2.3-liter turbo 4-cylinder with 270 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque. In Canada, both powertrains come standard with all-wheel drive. In the United States, you can get two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and it uses regular gas.
There's the more powerful Raptor with a 3-liter EcoBoost V6, 405 horsepower, and 430 pound-feet of torque. Full-time four-wheel drive, and premium fuel is recommended.
Just think about this. This engine, the 2.7 EcoBoost, is used in the F-150. And you shoo it into a little truck like this with good results. All right, let's get into this. It was just updated. What are the key standard features?
The base trim comes with a 10-inch touchscreen with Sync 4A, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, an 8-inch digital driver display, 6-speaker audio system, cloth upholstery, 8-way manual driver's seat, a 6-way manual passenger seat, remote keyless entry, and a power locking tailgate.
So we went on the launch event for Ranger and Raptor, and we had it in Utah. Andrea got to go off-roading, extreme driving in the Raptor. That was fun, right?
Unbelievable. That's the best part. That is so good. Unbelievable. I've never experienced anything like that. It was so fun.
We did some off-roading, and we drove the regular Ranger as well, and I really wanted to drive this. So when Ford says, by the way, it's available, I'm like, let's get it.
I have to say that 2.3-liter EcoBoost is also very good. But you know, in Utah, the roads are super smooth, and I found that it was so comfortable. So I was really happy to get it back here in Vancouver. Our roads are pretty good, but not as good as Utah. And I gotta say, this is so comfortable.
Yeah, they did a great job. As I mentioned off the very beginning, we did our top 10 of the last year, and this made our top 10. I was really impressed with it. You know, because they have so many different options under the hood, they don't have a hybrid like Toyota, but there's going to be a lot of people, Andrea, are just going to go, oh, I can still get a V6, granted it's turbocharged, in a mid-sized truck. But the suspension is fantastic. It eats up the bumps. It's not too jarring. Good feedback through the steering wheel. You could actually live with this every day.
Oh, I think so too. Now, this is all new, of course, this Ranger, and Ford redesigned the powertrains, the suspension, the frame, technology, all the connectivity, and then advanced driver assist technology with software updates. So they've really made this a pretty special truck. The track is 2 inches wider, and they also moved the rear shocks and the shock mounts to make it a more comfortable drive, which Zach and I agree, it's really well done.
We did a really fun walk around with one of the chief engineers, so chief engineer for the Americas.
My name is Juan de Peña. I am the North America Ranger chief engineer, and this is the all new for 2024 Ford Ranger.
And I'll put the link here, and he talks about all of that kind of stuff. I just want to say one thing, Andrea.
Yeah.
I have a fun fact.
Fun fact, okay.
And it starts with, g'day mates.
Yeah.
The lead on this was Ford of Australia. And if you're not aware, the best-selling vehicle in Australia is the Ranger. And they do a lot of off-roading and stuff down there, and they let them run with what makes a Ranger so great. And I think that was a really smart idea.
The Ranger offers advanced towing technology, including class-exclusive Pro Trailer Backup Assist and a 360 camera. The available off-road package includes skid plates, an off-road suspension, and an electronic locking rear differential. The terrain management system and Ford Trail Control pair with an off-road cluster screen that displays pitch, roll, and steering angle data at a glance.
We're in the FX4. We do have the ability to go into the off-road setting, but we're not going to do that because we're kind of at highway speeds. What else can we put it in, Andrea?
Got to put it in S for subscribe, and if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the Couple Car Review, twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
So make sure to like and subscribe. Okay, so we're going close to highway speeds.
Yeah, here we
I want to
go.
hear this thing go. Oh, yeah.
Oh man, the beauty of a twin turbo V6.
In a little truck.
When you want to get away from people, wow, it's terrific.
You know, we have the Lincoln Aviator this week. It's got the 3-liter twin turbo. This is just slightly smaller, 2.7, and that's a lot of engine for this size of vehicle.
Now this Ranger comes with a 5-foot bed. It's your only option, and it gets up to 9.3 inches of ground clearance. The Raptor model 10.7 inches. The Ranger comes standard with a black grille, LED reflector headlamps, halogen fog lamps, 17-inch wheels, and a temporary spare tire.
Available features include LED headlamps, LED tail lamps, integrated box side step, LED bed lighting. And the Ranger has cab outlets including 400-watt outlet producing the ability to power various tools and devices. You can also get different appearance packages depending on the trim, including a sport or chrome appearance package. I'm annoyed, Andrea. Love this truck. I have to use a key on the XLT to start it. It's 2025, people.
I know. So you have to go to the Lariat model to actually get push button start. I have to say this is old school, not something I'm used to. I can't believe we used to use keys. I'm so used to push button start and I just don't like this. It's so inconvenient.
They did the same thing with the Maverick. Oh, and by the way, we're talking about different trucks coming up. In Questions, Coffee, and Cars, we go into Maverick. Then we have Hot Topic about the F-150 and which one is right for you. At least Ford's got options. Now we turn our attention to the inside, and I like this much more than Tacoma interior. I just think it's a more comfortable place, and Ford does some great seats, and the ass warmer is fantastic.
It's amazing. I have to say that comfort level is so much better in this than Tacoma, and even the rear seat, it just makes such a huge difference. Of course, storage in a pickup truck is what people are looking for. You've got a big center console. This is really well laid out. You even have a shelf here on the dash. And then how about these door pockets? Really quite large.
And the screen is big, and you've got all the connectivity. It's really well done. So, but you know what, Andrea? I remember I spoke to an executive. He used to be the head of, he was the president of Chrysler Canada at the time. And he said, it takes dynamite to get people to change brands.
I know.
So Chevy guys are Chevy guys, Ford guys are Ford guys, Toyota guys are Toyota guys. It takes dynamite to get them to change. I just want to say one thing. Would a V6 entice you? That might be the dynamite they have.
And you will find it interesting coming up when we talk about pricing between the Ranger and the F-150. Which one should you get? Which one has more value?
So they give you a key to start it. But they also give you no shiny hard plastic on the inside. Well done, Ford. It looks really upscale in here.
We like it, you know, lots of matte finish. What a treat. You don't see all of that dust and fingerprints. The digital driver display is 8 inches standard, but there is an available 12.4 inch digital driver display. But you're going to have to pay extra for that. We do have the larger touchscreen in this model because we have an added package.
Here are the available features on higher trims. You can get leather trim seats, heated front seats, heated steering wheel, power front seats with lumbar support, wireless charger, a 360-degree camera, B&O sound system, Ford Co-Pilot 360, power sliding rear window, active park assist 2.0. So here's me getting in the rear seats. We find the Ford Ranger has more legroom, is more comfortable than the Tacoma, and of course, underneath the seat, there's extra storage.
Comparing the Ranger to the Tacoma, the Ranger offers 43.6 inches of front row legroom, which is almost 2 inches more spacious than the Toyota. Second row legroom at 34.6 inches is almost an inch more in second row legroom compared to Tacoma. For this model, Ford has added new fold flat rear seats, and there's room behind the seats to store tools or other equipment.
And remember, there's only one bed. That's the 5-foot bed. And there's only 4 doors. That's all you can get. All right, lots of questions about this or that. Let's get into it.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
The touchscreen's placement is nicely incorporated into the dash and not just oddly attached. It's nice to see a gear shifter as well. Oh, I agree. We were just talking about that the other day. We have a Lincoln this week with the piano key shifter, and we were going in and out of the Ranger and the Aviator, and I gotta say, I said to Zach, I'm loving the traditional shifter.
And the flat screen is actually really well thought out because I got in this when we picked it up and drove it home. Because the Ranger is narrow, having the screen go this way actually kind of makes sense because you still have the air vents on either side of it. So I prefer, horizontal look myself, but this works because of the size of the vehicle.
I love it that it's integrated as well. A lot of the functions are done in the screen. There's different sizes. We went through the key standard features, so you've got a 10-inch touchscreen that's standard, but this is the 12-inch, and I gotta say, I like it a lot. And you know what? Sync 4A that this Ranger gets is super quick. The Maverick seems like the new Ranger, as it was a small, affordable truck with better fuel economy.
Can I just jump on this for a second? Because I do agree with that. Maverick has taken over that sort of entry-level, smaller, more affordable truck. You know me, Andrea, I like to go online and look at vehicles to buy. And I love the idea. We used to have a Tacoma years ago, almost 4 years ago now, we sold it. And I love the idea of having a pickup truck. We need another car like a hole in the head. But anyway, the marketplace is littered with the old Rangers. And the reason is that they were cheap.
Yeah.
They were a nice size. They didn't have a lot of stuff in them. They were basic trucks, and that's what I want. And they're everywhere. These are pricing so many people out of the market.
Yeah, and the old Ranger, you're right, it was small. Sometimes I see the old truck and I'm like, wow, things have really grown these days. We see that with sedans and with SUVs as well. So the Maverick starts at just under $36,000 in Canada, whether you get the gas or the hybrid model. And in the US, just over $26,000.
What a deal.
Of course, you don't have all of the extra features, but just looking at a base model truck, that is really a good deal. Now, the Ranger starts at just over $44,000 in Canada, under $33,000 in the US for two-wheel drive, and just over $36,000 in the US for four-wheel drive.
The problem is it's the same with General Motors. It's the same with Ram. You want to get all the stuff in it that you want. Oh, the price goes up. They want more of your money. If you want to get a question in for a future video, make sure you follow along on Instagram. That's how you do it. It's Motormouth_Andrea to see what's going on behind the scenes as well. For me, it's Motormouth_Auto, and the links are below the like button.
Make small trucks affordable again. I think that's the issue. When you look back, the olden days where you could get vehicles in general for a lot less money, but you're also getting a lot more for your money today. More technology, more driver assist safety features as well. And that is a big deal. And consumers are demanding it now.
Yeah, they're demanding it, but at least Ford has the Maverick, right?
Oh, yeah.
They've got a more budget-friendly, I love me a Maverick. I love this. I like them all. I'd love a Maverick. Ford. And at least they have that. The others don't.
Nope.
They don't have.
They don't.
Trust me, they're all at the board right now, sketching out what it's going to look like. I guarantee you, with the success of Maverick, you're going to see more inexpensive, smaller trucks, and maybe even hybrids.
I'd love to see Ranger come out with a hybrid as well. Obviously, the Maverick hybrid has been a smash hit for Ford, and with the all-wheel drive option, I think a lot of people are going to continue to jump on that pickup truck.
And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
Years ago, the Ranger was smaller than the current Maverick and is now nearly the size of a 2005 F-150. What do you make of the growth of pickup trucks, and why would one buy a mid-size one with price and gas mileage so close to the bigger F-150?
So we did a little sleuthing online this morning. So we compared an XLT Ranger to an XLT F-150, both with the same powertrain. And because there's almost always incentives on the full-size trucks, the F-150, it was only about $2,500 to $3,000 more to go to the full-size with the same engine at the same trim. That is a problem, right?
It's a problem. And you know what? For those who don't want to drive a large pickup truck like the F-150, say you don't have room in your garage, this is a great option. But when you start looking at what you're paying for an F-150 with so much more room, it kind of doesn't make sense, does it?
Yeah, that's we spoke to an executive at Nissan, actually, and we were talking about Frontier. And he said to us, the problem with mid-sized trucks is when you start speccing them the way you want, often, most of the time, it's just better to get the bigger truck. So there you go. All right, Andrea, let's get into all the vital stats of the Ranger.
Here's the pricing. We'll do Canada first and then move on to the US. The Canadian pricing includes freight, PDI, and fees. The base model with the 2.3T four-wheel drive starts at just over $44,000, and the XLT with the 2.7 liter is just under $51,000. In the US, the base model starts at just under $33,000, and the XLT with the 2.7 liter is just under $42,000.
Here's the fuel economy for this 2.7 liter, 12.6 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 10.2 on the highway. That's just 19 miles per gallon city, 23 on the highway. The Ranger can tow up to 7,500 pounds and has a maximum payload of 1,805 pounds. The warranty is 3 years, 60,000 kilometers, or 36,000 miles. So you like the idea of a mid-sized pickup truck. The best seller, by the way, is Tacoma. Here's four to choose from.
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
Up first is the Toyota Tacoma with a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, 278 horsepower, and a starting price of just over $50,000.
The Nissan Frontier with a 3.8 liter naturally aspirated V6, 310 horsepower, and a starting price of almost $55,000.
The Honda Ridgeline has a 3.5 liter V6 with 280 horsepower and a starting price over $50,000.
The Chevy Colorado with a 2.7 liter engine, but it's a 4-cylinder, 237 horsepower, and an all-wheel drive starting price of $42,000.
So there are 4 mid-size pickups for you to consider.
Lightning round, 2 things we like, 2 things we'd like to see improved.
I just can't believe how refined this model is for a pickup truck.
So much better than the last model.
What I'd love to see is a Ranger hybrid one day.
One day it might happen, Andrew. I'd like to see no key.
Okay,
Just
yes,
the push
please.
button. In an XLT, come on, this is kind of like your mainline grade for most people. All right, so there it is. It's the all-new updated Ranger. What do you guys think of that?
Thanks for watching, and if you like what you see, subscribe. We'll see you next time.